Welcome to the new season of Healing Our Industry podcast. This is Vanessa, your host today, and we are on a journey to heal our industry with you by our side. This is a space where we facilitate wholehearted conversations and cultivate meaningful connection and belonging. We believe that in order to heal our industry, we must first prioritize our own healing. Take your seat at the table and join us for powerful, wholehearted conversations. Together, we can begin healing our industry. But before we dive into today's episode, let me make this very clear. You belong here. You are done trying to prove that you're enough. You are no longer trying to prove that you are worthy. You now choose to accept these statements as irrefutable truths. This version of you is enough of everything that you desire. Are you ready to release those old beliefs and build your dream life from a place of abundant alignment? Are you ready to own your power and expand into the best possible version of you? All right, let's go. Okay, so we are so excited to dive into today's episode. But let me preface it by saying this. Kim and I have been on a healing journey this past year. Let me tell you what, 2022, that's right. I thought I said 2020, has been not a year of the highlight reel. It has been the year of, hey, let's learn these lessons. They're going to be uncomfortable. They're going to be hard. They're going to be full of all these scales of emotions, and you get to feel it all in 1 year. Like, oh, thank you, universe, but also, can I have a break? So, in today's episode, we're going to hear the live recording of Kim from Instagram of announcing this next new phase of her life. And more specifically, kind of what she's going to be doing for the month of December and the end of 2022. So, after you hear that, I'm going to come back on and we're going to process it together. All right, let's dive in and get ready. Here we go.
Good morning, everyone, if it's still morning for you. Sorry we are almost half an hour behind, but life is a little bit crazy with an ME dog. You just kind of never really know how the morning's going to go. So thank you so much for your patience and waiting on us this morning if you've been waiting on us. First of all, well, I'll let you guys get a little close up and say hi. So for those of you who are just now seeing Teddy for the first time ever, meet the newest member of our family. This is Teddy. We have decided to keep the name Teddy. For those of you who were part of the poll, thanks, Kelly. For those of you who were part of the poll that I did last month, we were contemplating keeping our nerd theme and changing his name to something like Chewy, Chewbacca. That may become a nickname at some point, but he's such a Teddy, and he's so sweet and cuddly. His personality just matches his name, and I'm pretty sure that's what his first mom, the one who needed the help and gave him up for adoption, if you've read his story on my reel, I think that's what his first mom named him, and it just feels like I need to honor her and the foster mom by keeping him who he is, because he's just so special. Thank you so much. We love him. Soka and Teddy are finally getting along. Teddy's the kind of dog that just forces his love on you until you give in and just accept the love and then start returning it. I have several adorable videos of them wrestling. He really, really wants to do more with Ahsoka, you know what I mean? There's a lot of connection trying to happen, but he doesn't exactly know how it works, so he just kind of ends up on her side or around her face, and surprisingly, that's kind of what got her to be friendly with him, because she's like, oh, hi. And she'll like scoot her little booty back up into him. So she's fixed. There's nothing to worry about. She cannot get pregnant. But they took a turnaround last week, and it has been the cutest thing ever. Like, not in that way, but like they love each other, and they'll like give each other kisses and cuddle. It reminds me of Nala and Simba. Like, it's the cutest thing ever. So yeah, before we get started, I wanted to say thank you to all of you for all of the support, all of your messages, all of your checking in with me, the DMs, the text messages, all of it. Every single message means the world to me, and whenever you're going through a very internal, rough season, just the fact that people recognize that and they're giving you love means the world. So thank you for everyone who's reached out and shown support. As you can see, my hair's gone. I've chopped it off. I love the saying, and I didn't really like understand that. We're just going to ignore Whittle because it's not going to go away. He's not going to stop barking, so it's fine. I love the saying that when a woman cuts her hair, she's about to change her life. And for the past 3 to 4 months, I had been contemplating. I was like, my new growth is just about there to where I think I could get away with it, but I don't know if I'm ready. So I did it myself last Sunday, and I didn't expect it to be an emotional thing. I recorded it. I don't know if I'm going to share it ever, because it ended up being like a very, very, very personal thing. I went into it just like, you know what? I'm doing this for me. I'm just going to put the camera on, and then if I, get some good content out of it, some B-roll, awesome. The first side that I chopped, it was like the waterworks happened immediately. And I was bawling. I was like, it was like this massive release. And I had one of my friends tell me, hair holds trauma. And I think that that's so true. Like, what we go through, our hair is a part of us. Our hair is the crown that we don't take off. And letting go of what I was holding on to with my hair was very symbolic of where I was in my life. And it was time to let go of the things that were no longer meant for me. So I did just that. And then I was literally shaking, trying to cut the other side. And it was powerful. It was like I just released everything that needed to be released. Thank you guys so much. I love it too. Being my natural color and then being shorter, where my curls actually pop out and I can style it natural. Like, I can diffuse my hair. I can shower in the morning, scrunch, diffuse with the heater in the car on full blast on the way to the salon, and I'm good to go by the time I get to the salon. Excuse me. He just sits here for 45 minutes after he eats, so Teddy's literally just going to be chilling with us. We probably won't talk that long, but that's what we're doing. Thank you, Janae. I appreciate it. I'm glad that y'all like the curls. I washed it this morning, so we're here. We're here with the curls. So the whole point of this live is to give you guys like an update on where I'm at with things. Life with Teddy obviously has been a big change, a big pivot. I think that having Teddy as part of our lives has been like the thing that made me say, this is what I need for me. It made me actually get very, very clear on my boundaries and my expectations for myself, because he requires so much more than even my other dogs. Like Whittle has medical needs, but having a dog that 3 hours of our day is spent on feeding. Like, it takes us about 10 to 20 minutes to feed him his meal. And then he sits in his chair, his Bailey chair. This is called a Bailey chair. He sits in his chair for 45 minutes because, and he didn't always sit for the full, like it's supposed to only be 20 to 30, but I like to say he's on self-destruct mode. So He will start roughhousing with Soka or going outside and running around, jumping around, and immediately upchuck everything. So because he's having so much fun when he's not in his chair, he needs to stay in his chair a little bit longer so that everything can just slide on down. So with mega esophagus, the muscles in the esophagus do not push the food down. So he has to stay upright and elevated so that gravity can do its job and work everything down. So it requires a lot, but it has also become a very meditative thing for me to sit here with him and just be, because that's all that's required of me, is to just be where I am now. I have to focus on what I'm doing when I'm beating him, because if not, he will get out of the chair and run crazy. Like, I can't be responding to messages when I'm beating him. I can send messages while we're sitting in the chair, like while I'm doing this live, because so much of my day is spent like this, but I actually really love it. And it's given me this new perspective where I'm valuing my time so much more than I have been up to this point. So I am not going to sugarcoat what life has been like over the last month. It's been really, not Teddy. We're not talking about Teddy now. We're talking about me and my career. He has been like the easiest part of all of this, and he made my decisions easier. The upchuck foam is not lovely. And once you've gone through a couple nights in a row of not being able to fall asleep because of the regurgitation and the vomiting, it's like, oh, no. We're doing everything within our power to make sure that this little dude is set up the way he needs to be set up and he's sleeping through the night so great. We haven't had any, knock on wood, we haven't had any crazy upchucks in over a week, maybe even 2 weeks. It was like Thanksgiving week was it was a little crazy. Someone got a hold of some mashed potatoes, but everything's fine. Luckily, it was a soft food. But it's just been like, he's the best cuddler. He just wants to be held and love you. Even if like I take a shower, if I get out of the shower, he just he's like, oh, I haven't seen you in forever, and I just miss you so much, and why do you have to be away from me? Like, I just cannot. So it's just, he is such a special little dude, and the way that he loves is very similar to how Ben and I love. We're just kind of all in. We give it our everything, and the people that are our people, which is exactly why life has looked the way that it has for the last several. Guys, these are holes in my pants. I promise I'm not wearing like shorty shorts. These are just massive holes. So this last month has been a lot for me as far as making the decision to part ways with the company that I was with for education. I know, baby. It's been, as you've seen in some of my captions, it has been a year. It has been a year of highs and lows, ups and downs, questioning myself. I had gotten to the point where I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't spend the weekend unplugged. Like, I was romanticizing leaving the industry altogether and just packing it up and moving to a different country, or just switching career fields and getting a normal job. And that's not me. That's not who I am. That's not what I really want for myself. And all of the red flags for burnout that I speak to and that I encourage you guys with, I was ignoring those in myself. And I am not the kind of person who's going to say one thing and do another. I'm the kind of person that follows through and leads by example. And I wasn't in my integrity with how I was leading. I never want my Instagram to be a highlight reel or an everything is fine page, because everything was not fine. Everything has not been fine for a while. So it has not been easy making a decision like I made. It has not been sunshine and rainbows. It's been a ton of shadow work. It's been a ton of tears and junk food and cuddles and healing. And I'm a very big believer in not bringing people into my pain. I don't want to speak about something that I'm healing from until it has scarred over. Which is why the one that I made of me burning the letter didn't happen until a year after I had left that community. That's not to say that this is a totally different situation. Completely different. But I am not in a place where I can speak to that because I am actively healing. And the most important thing for me is my healing. And I would want the same for any of you, and I know that you guys want that for me as well. So, I don't know if I'm going to share that. I don't know when. I don't know how. I know that with what I've gone through, it will be helping people down the line to see, like, I'm a big believer in, like, I see your scars, I'll show you my scars. It's a very different thing, but I am not the kind of person that is going to burn bridges or talk badly about people. And the community that I was a part of so intensely was a group of people who were like family to me, and that's not something that I take lightly. My friend Christine and I left about a week apart, and I'm not going to speak about Christine's story because it is her story. I will say that I could not have done it without her. She's one of my dearest friends, and we talk almost every day, almost every single day. And I highly suggest following along with each of our stories independently, but I want you guys to know that we had very different experiences and we have very different reasons for our decisions, although our families are obviously number one. But I just want you guys to know that this is such a multifaceted thing. This is not something that, it's not cut and dry. And for me, I'm not burning bridges. I am putting my bridge under construction, and we'll circle back. We'll circle back. That doesn't mean, you can take that and interpret that however you want, but I realized how much I was putting myself down at the bottom of my priority list, and that's not okay. So I want to share what I have been up to in order to facilitate my healing and move forward. So one of the biggest things that I always talk about is like, ask for help and accept the help. Don't do things by yourself. And whenever we're in a place like that, whenever we're burnt out, when we're overwhelmed, everything is hard. Everything is heavy. And everything is debilitating, right? So I had to practice what I preach and start asking for help and start receiving help, not just saying I need help, but then if I allow my husband to help me, correct him for doing something wrong. No, it's getting done. That's what matters. Like, perfection does not exist. We don't do perfect around here. We just do our best. And I can't expect that of myself. So that being said, I have brought, as you know, my sister is part of my team, and I have really, really let go of the reins and let Nessa start taking on a lot more responsibility. Another thing that I have done is invested in a virtual assistant, and her name is Sierra. So you guys are going to be seeing her a lot more on my Instagram, a lot more. She's absolutely phenomenal, and I'm excited for you guys to get to know her. But having a support system instead of expecting myself to do it all has been a game changer for me. So, I have actually hired my sister Vanessa to be my health and life coach as well. No one knows me better than my sister, but her skill set in health coaching has, I can say 100% confidence, she has changed my life in that area and forced me to slam on the brakes. I mean, of my own volition, but I have slammed on the brakes and I have pulled over on the side of the road until I know that I'm driving the car in the direction and the way that I want to drive the car. So I've hired Vanessa to coach me, and I'm feeling a ton better already, but I want to keep that momentum going. Nessa is going to be putting podcast episodes out there. I'm not ready to be on the podcast. Honestly, it just took a lot of energy for me to even show up for you guys today for this live. So Nessa's going to continue, and when I'm ready, I will show up on the podcast again. I don't know when that's going to be, and I don't want to commit to something and then not be able to follow through on that. So Nessa's going to be supporting you guys there, and Instagram as well. And you guys are going to be seeing Sierra on my Instagram a lot. I'm really going to be pulling back and having her help with this already, because she's been helping me with Instagram, but it has made it a slow transition to where it has allowed me to slowly let go and then let her take on more responsibility. So I wanted to let you guys know that for the month of December, I have decided to be hands off and focus on myself, focus on my clients behind the chair, and just let those girls run it. I mean, I have these powerful, badass boss babes part of my team for a reason. It's my job to let go and let them do what they do best. So that is going to be a big change for me. But I know that there's a lot of you who have been like asking, Kim, when are you going to have your own education? Like, how can I work with you? Like, I really wanted to learn from you, blah, blah, blah. Like, I have so many messages, and I really appreciate that. And I've been contemplating it. And I didn't want to move forward until I felt like everything was in alignment for me to do something. So I've been working on those options. So I wanted to give you an update on what I have for you. So I've had lots and lots of questions about shadowing. I will be launching shadowing next year. I had been waiting on doing shadowing because I didn't want me taking longer in the salon to make it a hard experience for you guys in shadowing me. But if you saw my story from last week, I already cut my road time in half. So I'm fully confident that I'm going to be able to allow shadowers in to where it's not stressing me out if I'm taking a long time. My timing is already improving so much. I want to give myself at least December to get it to where it's consistently less, and then bring you guys in. However, I have opened the wait list for shadowing. So the top link in my bio is where you're going to see all the things that I'm talking about right now. So that's where you're going to find all the things. So you can apply to be on the wait list for that, and then we can go from there. I want to give you guys a general idea of what working with me looks like right now. Obviously, you can be my client. That's beside the point, right? Not everybody needs hair extensions, and I cannot do everyone's hair extensions. No. So my roles are going to look, the things that I offer and the things that I do are going to be life and energy coaching. You guys know, I am obsessed with Enneagram and human design, energy work, and not taking someone else's blueprint for their life and business and expecting it to work for you, because we are all unique, we are all different, and what works for someone else isn't going to be what works for you. So I am phenomenal at figuring out what kind of person you are and helping you set up your life and business structure to match that and be what you need for yourself. So life and energy coaching, business mentoring. So that's kind of one and the same, but they're also very different, but they also correlate. I did want you guys to know I can absolutely, and I am going to be offering technical skill guidance. However, I am not teaching methodology. I don't know if I'm ever going to teach methodology. And you absolutely cannot learn a method from me at all. Whatever you are doing, I can help you improve what you're doing, but you cannot come and learn a method from me. So, technical skill guidance, no methodology. So that's essentially the three legs of kind of the basis for what I'm working on. And then I'm adding in one other new thing that I've never really done before, but I'm really excited about it. So I'm going to be offering something called a strategy call. And the reason for that is because not everybody can sign up for a full mentoring program, especially with the way that, our lives are crazy and the economy is insane. And that's a big commitment to commit to at least 3 months of intense working with a mentor. So I've decided to add something called strategy calls. So those will be in 30-minute, 60-minute, or 90-minute time slots. So I know, baby, mommy's doing a lot of talking. So essentially, the strategy calls are for you to book those calls when you need them. You can hit any of those 3 categories that I talked about and go from there. So you can book as many calls as you need with the frequency that you need them. Or, if you just really need support in a specific area, if you have a big life or business transition, like leaving a salon and you're scared shitless and don't know what to do and need some support, I'm here for you. I've had a lot of people in my DMs asking those kinds of questions, especially whenever one of those reels starts going off and going crazy again. I have a lot of people reach out, and that's going to be the best way to get a hold of me. Whenever it comes to DMs and all of that stuff and communicating on Instagram, Sierra is going to be the one that's primarily handling all of that because my time and energy is better spent elsewhere, like behind the chair or on a call with you or creating content. And it is very, very hard to create content whenever all your time is spent responding to people and communicating. I love communicating, but having that time blocked off to where you guys can book that specifically with me and get one-on-one time, we're going to do a Zoom call, and then I record everything, and then you're going to receive the recording afterwards as well, so that you don't have to stress out about taking notes while we're chatting. You can just show up, be fully present, and you can go back and watch it as many times as you need to. So you can absolutely do calls with me first, and then if you want to do more mentoring, you can sign up for that as well. Essentially, I'm keeping it very simple. I have a 30, 60, 90-minute booking, and then I have the application form for mentoring and coaching and all of that stuff below that. And that's all at the top link of my bio, and it'll take you to a new page that has a list of everything. So whatever you guys need, I'm there to support you. And if you're not sure if it's something that I'm able to do, you can just hit the contact button, which will send me an email, or you can shoot a DM, and then Sierra will be able to get back to you. Sierra is phenomenal, and she's going to be introducing herself later this week. So those of you who are looking for a VA, Sierra is accepting a handful of new clients. The thing that I absolutely love is that Sierra is a hairstylist, so she speaks my language, she gets where I'm coming from, and she already has my brain. Like, we think the same way, but she's like the organized version. She and Vanessa are actually super similar, which works out really well. But I absolutely suggest reaching out if you are in need of a VA and you are like, Kim, everything you're saying is what I'm feeling. I'm overwhelmed. I'm burnt out. I need help. She can work with you and take things on as you are ready to let things go. It's not where you're automatically hiring somebody at 40 hours. She's able to work with you in the way that you need it. So I highly suggest reaching out and just seeing what it's all about. So to wrap everything up, I'm going to be offering the shadowing and one-on-one training next year. So you have to be on the wait list for that, because my wait list will receive all of that information before the public. So if you want to actually secure a spot for yourself for next year, go ahead and fill out that form. And I look forward to hopping on a call with you guys. Thank you so much for all of your support and all the love. Like, I can't thank you enough for everything. So you'll be seeing a lot more of Teddy around, and you'll be seeing stories from me here and there, but you're gonna have a lot of fun hanging out with Sierra for December. Okay, I'll let you say goodbye to Teddy and then see the other babies really quick before I hit the button, because I know you guys want to see him one more time. Can you say bye? Say, I only have a few more minutes left. Whittle, can you say bye? Yeah, he's very interested in this conversation. And there's Soka. Okay, y'all have a great day.
Okay, guys, I know that was a lot to take in. So I want us to just take a moment to take in a deep breath. Oh, and let it out. I know that was really heavy, and I'm proud of you for staying with us, continuing listening, even though the feelings might have been mixed. You might feel excited. You might also feel worried, scared, fearful, joy, happiness. You might be feeling all the feelings. And I want to let you know that you're allowed to feel those feelings. They're welcome here. The frustration, the anger, the happiness, all of it is welcome in this space. So, as I am recording this, it's been about a week since Kim sent out and was there for the live. It's actually a Monday when I am recording this for a moment of us to just have a time to understand, reflect, and kind of figure out where are we going next. And so, all those questions may not be answered right now, and that's okay. Right now, is just a moment for us to let all the feels be, whatever they may be, and be aware of them. There's nothing more than, or nothing more powerful than just being aware of our feelings. So I was actually able to sit down and talk with Kim today and just kind of asked her, "How are you doing? It's been about a week, what what are your thoughts? Where are you at?" And we ended up diving into that she's just now feeling like she can get back to her basics. She was like, I don't even want to call it self-care because self-care is like a massage or getting my nails done or my brows done or my lashes done or even my hair done. I feel like I'm finally able to take care of my needs, eat breakfast, drink water, enjoy being with my fur babies, and being just her being was so powerful. She's actually starting to feel more lighter, more back to herself. But the things that Kim were experiencing and how she had to deal with life then was from a state of survival. It was from a state of like, I'm just trying to do the best that I can. I'm missing breakfast, probably missing lunch most of the time. I'm drinking coffee, even though there's protein in it, there is some nutrition in that, but I'm running off of fumes. And caffeine is just kind of helping the fumes to last longer. And that's where she was at. And good news is things are turning around, but in order for something to turn around, our nervous system has to get used to something new. And we were talking about this of like, she was saying, I feel like I'm kind of getting back to functioning from my parasympathetic. And I was like, yeah. So if you haven't heard us talk about the parasympathetic versus the sympathetic nervous system, basically in a nutshell, when you're functioning from like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I'm going about my day and I don't even remember everything that I did. I just know I got through it. That would be us functioning from our sympathetic nervous system, which I like to think of the sympathetic nervous system as like, it's just like not here. But the one I remember that really helps me is the parasympathetic nervous system and what it looks like or may feel like from functioning from that place is like ah, like peace. Like I was able to have personal time today. Like when I know I'm functioning from my parasympathetic nervous system, I'm actually able to have my morning time and enjoy it, enjoy my cup of coffee, enjoy the sound of birds, be able to go throughout the day in the salon with Kim of just peace. Like, yes, the day may be busy, and yes, the day may be um, a day of just being with the client and serving their needs, but like in my heart of hearts, I'm at home. In my body, I'm at home. In my mind, spirit, soul, body, I'm at peace. And that's where Kim feels like she's finally able to reach that point of peace, of her own new way of doing things. And that's so very interesting as she moves into the next phase of her life, that this is now becoming her new foundation of making decisions from peace, of being with her client from peace, of eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner and not having to eat all her calories at the end of the day or all her nutrition at the end of the day. She's allowing her nervous system from panic, worried, overwhelmed to transition into that place of peace. I'm here, I'm present, I'm aware of what I'm doing. And she's also kind of in the middle of both of those because it's going to take the nervous system, especially hers, some time to know what it's like to be from a place of peace because she's been for so long in a place of overwhelm, burnout, running on fumes, just trying to get the day done. And there may be some resistance in her nervous system of like, I feel like I should be doing something right now, but I don't know what that is. I don't know how to go about the day. Like, we're doing nothing right now. How can we be okay with that? And allowing even those emotions to be there. Because for change to happen, we also have to be okay with what was. And some of that is forgiveness of the self. So maybe you find yourself in a moment of between feelings, maybe between emotions, and not sure what you're supposed to feel or how you're supposed to move about or what is the next step for you. And I want to say this: you can be right here, right now. You don't have to know the answers to the next new thing, to the next thing you're working on, or if you just throw it all up in the air, whatever you're doing in your life right now, just be aware of it. Don't make any decisions. I suggest that you don't make any suggestions from a place of like worry, overwhelm, fearful, or just fuck it. Because sometimes it's if we make a decision in that place and then we look back maybe a day or a week later and we're like, damn it, I wish I wouldn't have done that. So instead of making quick decisions, let's just be here in this moment. Let's just allow our body to actually feel these emotions. I feel like in the beauty industry and in society and just in this nation as well, that women get the message that we have to have it all together. We can't express tears. We can't express mad, sad, angry. Like if you have tears, you need to suck them back in pretty quick because you're not allowed to cry. And I would like to raise a rebellion against all those messages that ever said we couldn't have emotions because um part of the human experience is feeling anger, is also feeling the happiness and whatever other feelings come up in the body. There's no label that has to be put up against anger, frustration, happiness, or joy as good or bad. Anger's not bad. Anger's not good. It's an emotion. So allow this moment to give yourself permission to feel all the feelings you may be feeling. And then once you have felt them, for me, when I'm feeling like I need to let go of something, there will be moments for me, sometimes even weekends, where I'm having cry sessions. I am able to have those cry sessions because I'm in a safe space. And if you feel like you're not in a safe space, go to where you know that is. For me, sometimes it's in my car, sometimes it's in the shower or in the bathroom, or even if I find myself in a public place, I'll excuse myself to my car. because nobody else has the keys to my car, and that's one of my safe spaces. So when you're feeling whatever you may be feeling, welcome it, befriend it. I challenge you to befriend it and see what that emotion is telling you. And then from there, once you feel like you have felt those feelings and have allowed that full expression of that emotion to be, then think about your options. Think about what is the next step that feels right in your body. Maybe that's even close to the feeling of peace or close to the feeling of like, okay, I can do this. I can make this step forward. I can make that step forward. And even allow yourself to kind of play around with your solutions to whatever may be coming up, or play around in your mind. Go to your mind that is good at creating and diving into all the different possibilities that could be outside of you. Maybe allow yourself to be there next. And then after you figure out, okay, this feels like the next right step because it feels kind of close to peace. Maybe even in that process, you educate yourself, maybe do some more research, whatever that may be for you. It doesn't have to be from a place of making decisions of like haphazardly, not aware of what's going on. Give yourself the knowledge. Education is power, knowledge is power. Research about the things, whatever that may be for you, of whatever you feel like you need to dive into for educating yourself. Don't take everybody's opinion about something just because they have something to say about it, and they may say it in a very convincing or loud, emotional way. Get the information you need to make the right next decision for your life, because there's nobody else in charge of this life except you. And once you recognize that power, the decisions you make are yours to powerfully make, you can run the world. You can build whatever you want to build, create whatever you want to create, but it starts with you. And self confidence is something I am always working on. Self confidence is a challenge for me. Being confident in my own decisions. And once I am confident in that decision I've made, boy, you better watch out, because a confident decision making woman is powerful, changes generational thought, changes her own business, changes a way of life that maybe she never thought was possible. And then she sees it as a possibility. She's unstoppable. And then she's also able to show people outside of her that it's possible for them too. And then it's just like this ripple of change. It's like this ripple of, hey, together we can all do what works best for us. And I challenge you to, in this time, in this season, as it's December and as we're getting close to the new year, honey, you don't even have to think about the worst or the best things, but take some time to reflect and be aware of the things that you have created in your own life. Doesn't have to be good, doesn't have to be bad. We don't have to put any type of label on it. Just be aware. Just be aware. This is a time in which I like to try to be aware. Even the other day, I tried just kind of thinking about the things that I manifested in the beginning of the year, like the first quarter, and just thinking about that was a lot. So I'm going to give myself some time. Okay, so for us moving forward as a community, I will be here. We're going to be learning new things. We're going to be bringing in some special guests. We're going to be honest and not sugarcoat it, because it's been a hard year, and it's okay that it's been hard, and it's okay that we're learning new things. This is part of growth. Growth is not always easy, but growth involves you, and you matter, and you are a person that belongs here. You belong in this space, and we are going to grow together. Not everybody's growth is going to look the same, and that's okay because everybody's unique and we don't need to copycat each other. Like, why be somebody else when I can be my own self? And if you don't feel like you can be your own self, then ask yourself, what kind of feelings are you not allowing yourself to feel? And maybe there might be some storylines in your brain that are like, they're better than me. And if you think somebody's better than you, then we need to come back to ourselves and learn about our own selves. That was the biggest thing in my journey of learning about who I am, what I like and what I don't like. Um, and more about my story will be coming in the future. I'm super excited to share it with you. We had a lot more questions about my story, and so it will be coming out in the podcast in a couple episodes. And I'm excited for you to hear about it. So, moving forward, here is what I would suggest for your action step or like something that you could do in this during this week. I'm not just going to say, like, take care of yourself. I want you to go within and I want you to hear your emotions and what they're speaking to you and just listen. Just be aware of them. You don't have to move from those places of feelings or emotions, just allow them to be there. That's part of the human experience. Allow anger. If you're feeling angry, allow that anger to be. Maybe even journaling out, ripping some papers, burning some papers in a safe place. We don't need to be causing house fires or anything like that, but do something in a way where you're not hurting yourself or anyone else, where you can let that out. I know that there are even modalities or theories out there, suggestions of getting out anger and just like letting it out on the pillow, letting it out on the bed. Make sure you're not going to hurt any person, animal, or thing, or yourself, or even in frustration. Let it out. Scream in your car. I've done that. Screaming in my car was so relieving. Or also, if you're feeling multiple feelings, allow those to be there too. Allow the happiness to be there. None of the emotions have to be ignored or pushed to the side. They can they can cohabitate together. They can cohabitate together. And on that note, I'm going to say bye for now, and I will be talking with y'all soon. We will be releasing new podcasts every single week. I am committed to that goal. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. And if you have any other questions or concerns, you can email us or you can leave comments or you can find me on Instagram. And I will link in the show notes all the links for you to get in contact with us. Okay, you got this. Your emotions are not something to fear, they are something to hold and befriend. All right. I will see you guys very, very soon. Bye for now.